Cross multiply, the first step in solving a proportion. A proportion is one fraction made equal to another fraction. Since each fraction has a numerator, fraction bar, and a denominator, we now have a numerator, a fraction bar, and a denominator on one side of an equal sign, and another numerator, fraction bar, and a denominator on the other side of the equal sign. Here is an example of a proportion. 3 over 5 equals 6 over 10. The proportion equation becomes solvable if one of the values is unknown, as in x over 5 equals 6 over 10, or x over 5 equals 3 over 5. It is a little difficult to see the cross multiplying in this format, but the numerator of the first fraction is multiplied by the denominator of the second, and put equal to the denominator of the first fraction multiplied by the numerator of the second. If two fractions were written and that description circled on the fractions, teachers say it looks like a cross. In all fairness, it really looks like an X. I often tell my students that cross multiplying should be called X multiplying. But X is the most famous variable, and for some unknown reason, we use X to mean multiplication in elementary school, parentheses, and then teach students not to use an X after reaching algebra in the 6th and 7th grade, and parentheses. Back to our example, x over 5 equals 3 over 5. Cross multiplied is 5x equals 3 times 5, or 5x equals 15. With both sides divided by 5, we have x equals 3. I often get fed up with the, quote, cross multiply, end quote, method, and just revert to good old equation solving. It's a little slower, but consistent with all equation solving teaching. Given x over 5 equals 3 over 5, we would multiply both sides by 5 to, quote, isolate the x, end quote. We'd get 5 times x over 5 equals 3 times 5 over 5. After simplifying, the 5's cancel on the left, leaving x, and the 5's cancel on the right, leaving 3, so x equals 3. To cross multiply, when solving a proportion, it is to multiply the numerator of the first fraction by the denominator of the second fraction, and then place it equal to the denominator of the first fraction multiplied by the numerator of the second fraction. Related words: similar, proportion, proportional.